$1 million. 1,000 realities. Imagine this for a moment. You're handed $1 million in cash and told you can buy a home anywhere on Earth. Same money, same budget, completely different outcomes. What you get doesn't just depend on your taste. It depends on geography, population density, and how the world values land. In some places, $1 million buys peace, space, and privacy. In others, it barely secures a roof over your head. Let's begin our global journey in Southern Europe, where sunshine and slow living attract buyers from all over the world. Along Spain's famous southern coastline, $1 million stretches surprisingly far. Here, that budget can secure a spacious modern villa tucked inside a private residential estate. Think multiple bedrooms, open-plan living areas, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a private swimming pool just steps from your living room. The lifestyle matters just as much as the home. Residents here often enjoy access to shared gyms, clubhouses, golf courses, and coastal views that feel straight out of a postcard. It's the kind of place where mornings start with sunlight pouring through glass doors and evenings end by the pool. Now contrast that with one of the world's most crowded urban environments. Fly thousands of miles east and you'll arrive in a city where space is the rarest luxury of all. Here, $1 million doesn't buy land. It buys airspace. Apartments are stacked sky high, and every square foot is fiercely contested. $1 million may secure a modest apartment with compact rooms, tight kitchens, and barely enough space to stretch your arms. The location is prime. The views might be stunning, but the living space? Shockingly small. And this is only the beginning. Because if this contrast surprised you, the next locations will completely flip your expectations upside down. If $1 million already feels powerful in one country and painfully limited in another, wait until you see what happens when we cross the Atlantic. Old worlds, new limits. Now let's shift continents and perspectives. In parts of the Caribbean, $1 million buys something rare in today's world: silence. On a quiet island with lush greenery and deep history, that budget can secure a restored historic home that blends old world charm with modern comfort. Thick stone walls, multiple levels, wide balconies, and private pools hidden among ruins from centuries past. These aren't just houses, they're stories. Former sugar mills, colonial-era structures, and properties surrounded by land rather than neighbors. You're not buying square footage alone. You're buying isolation, history, and calm. But travel north and reality changes fast. In some of the trendiest neighborhoods of major U.S. cities, $1 million doesn't guarantee luxury. In fact, it might barely guarantee comfort. Dense populations, high demand, and limited space drive prices skyward. What looks impressive from the outside may feel underwhelming once you step in. You may find multiple bedrooms and bathrooms, but little outdoor space. Or you might discover properties priced at $1 million that still require serious renovation. In extreme cases, age, damage, and outdated interiors come included. No discount applied. It's a harsh reminder that location often outweighs quality. And yet, move just a few hundred miles within the same country, and everything changes again. Entire mansions appear within reach. Historic homes with sprawling layouts, ornate exteriors, and prices that feel almost unbelievable compared to coastal cities. The same country, the same currency, radically different realities. If you think this contrast is wild, the next destinations will show how $1 million can turn you into royalty or leave you questioning your sanity. Luxury, legends, and limits. Now we head toward regions where ancient civilizations once ruled, and where luxury now takes very different forms. In parts of North Africa, $1 million delivers space, sunlight, and indulgence. Villas surrounded by palm trees, overlooking deep blue seas, featuring private pools, rooftop terraces, and open living spaces designed to embrace the climate. Here, luxury feels relaxed. It's about airflow, views, and indoor-outdoor living rather than compact efficiency. Daily life includes swimming under the sun, entertaining guests by the pool, and walking to nearby leisure activities. The lifestyle itself feels expansive, but head into historic European capitals and the story changes again. In major cities, shaped by thousands of years of history, space is preserved, protected, and limited. $1 million may secure a modern apartment close to the city center, stylish, minimalist, and carefully designed, but not expansive. You're trading land for proximity, square footage for culture. Move away from the city center, though, and suddenly the same budget buys entire villas, private pools, and vast vast plots of land. The choice becomes philosophical: city energy or countryside freedom. Then there are cities where prices defy logic altogether. Places where even tiny, awkwardly shaped homes sell for astonishing sums. Sometimes you're not paying for the house at all, you're paying for the postcode. But nothing prepares you for the places where $1 million buys almost nothing, or almost everything, when price makes no sense. Some cities exist in a category of their own. In parts of Canada and Australia, housing markets exploded over short periods of time. Low interest rates, high demand, and limited supply pushed prices into surreal territory. Homes that look temporary, narrow, or outdated sell for seven figures simply because of where they stand. In extreme cases, properties resembling sheds or cottages fetch million-dollar price tags, not because of quality, but because land itself has become a luxury asset. Now contrast that with cities once powered by booming industries that later collapsed. In places like parts of the American Midwest, population decline left behind empty buildings and falling prices. Today, $1 million can buy restored historic mansions, massive plots of land, and homes that feel closer to palaces than residences. Large kitchens, multiple living spaces, pools, barns, and even acres of private land suddenly become affordable. It's proof that economic history matters as much as geography. And just when you think you've seen every extreme, the global journey continues toward places where luxury is engineered, curated, and deliberately designed. The next stop reveals cities where wealth doesn't just buy homes, it buys entire lifestyles. The final contrast. In ultra-modern global hubs, luxury is built into the system itself. Gated communities, smart homes, climate-controlled interiors, and futuristic architecture define daily life. Here, $1 million can still unlock premium living, but the closer you move to the city's core, the more space you sacrifice. Step outside these hubs and prices don't always fall. Sometimes they rise even higher. Across Asia and Europe, million-dollar homes can range from compact city apartments to sprawling countryside estates with vineyards, terraces, and panoramic views. In some regions, history adds value. In others, it limits expansion. By the time you circle back to Western Europe, the contrast becomes almost absurd. Vast countryside estates sell for less than tiny inner-city homes no wider than a hallway. So what does $1 million really buy you? It buys context. It buys trade-offs. It buys choices shaped by the world, not just wealth. Same money, different countries, entirely different lives. Now the real question isn't what $1 million buys, it's where you'd choose to spend it. Which country wins for you?